Today I'm reviewing Star Wars number 9, Showdown on a Wasteland World. After the last issue, I wasn't really sure what to expect with this one. My hopes were not high. That's what I guess I should say. But it worked out pretty well. It was a pretty good issue. Had some decent action in it. It was really different, actually. I wonder if maybe they were getting a lot of fan complaints that I had already made, basically just that, like, hey, make this more interesting and exciting for people like me who actually care. Unlike the writer and artist seemed to up to this point. Well, the artist was actually doing a really good job. The writer, I felt, was kind of phoning it in a little bit. But this is the first one that really felt like it belongs in the Star Wars universe. There's much more emphasis on story and like world building. They're on a wasteland world, as the title implies, and need to basically fight off like 100 bad guys in this giant battle. Han Solo rescues the daughter of the tribal chief or whatever. It was good, unlike the last one. It fixed a lot of the problems I had with many of the issues up to this point, actually. It gave Han Solo more internal dialogue, so we really got to see things through his eyes for a bit. And I felt they got his character mostly correct to how he is in the movies. Maybe a little more cartoony, but that might just be the art style in general, which is very cartoony, especially with the big green rabbit, which I just keep looking at and it's just like a big cartoon rabbit. And I just keep imagining that if this was like turned into a movie, he would be completely animated like Roger Rabbit or something like that, while everyone else is live action. Harrison Ford walking around with a big green cartoon rabbit. Just make it more alien, except it's a rabbit. Felt it was introducing too many characters in the last one. They fixed that by just killing a few off. So you can probably guess which ones. Like, here's all the forgettable characters, and here's the main characters. You can probably guess which ones die. The one has a great death scene. I won't spoil anything. I'm trying not to spoil things as much. And the action was really good. Not that the action was a problem before. I've always felt the action was good, aside from in issues when there wasn't any action, like the last one. But this one did a couple things that were kind of cool that they hadn't done before. Like, because before they were doing like these really wide arcs of like, big pictures, like a bunch of stuff happening. Here they did like multiple panels just to show like one thing happening. And it was like showing you every step of what happened there, like this big hawk thing swooping in, and like I think Han shoots it first, and then the hot lady in their group gets out and takes a shot, and it keeps dodging and weaving, and then the quill guy like throws quills or something. It was just like showing like each step of the way, and I thought that was cool. Just because they hadn't done anything like that before. And it felt really different. I actually, like, made sure, like, is this the same artist? And, like, but yeah, it is. So I'm glad they're trying things new and, like, branching out and setting up their own, like, set, their own, like, little corner of the Star Wars universe, I guess. Because I think it works. This one definitely works a lot more than the last one. And it might be my favorite issue so far. I think I've said that at least once already, but I'm not sure. This isn't a complaint or anything, but they had one scene with, it was just like 2 pages, I think, maybe 3, where it just like checks in with Luke and Leia. Leia's on her ship and like talking to Luke on a video screen. And Luke's like crash lands in his ship or something. Ever since I read Splinter in the Mind's Eye, I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Just before anyone knew that Luke and Leia were brother and sister. So, like, just worried that there's just going to be, like, more awkward flirting and stuff that just makes me kind of cringe. But that didn't happen, thankfully. Yet. But it was just, like, 3 pages that were definitely just setting up something that's going to happen later on. Again, I won't spoil it. I was definitely right before that the last issue just felt like it was just a whole issue of setup for this issue, but the payoff after that was actually pretty good in this issue, and I hope it continues to feel that way with the coming issues. But that doesn't forgive the previous issue for existing. You could cut it out and like just have because there's a bit, because all comics do this, like there's a bit at the beginning of this comic where it kind of just reiterates everything that's going on right now. And it's like, you just do that. Like, maybe cut away to Luke and Leia, but then cut back to Han Solo and be like, this is what happened to me, Like, we don't need to see that part in between, I think. I know that they're, they're comic book writers and artists. This is their job. and they have deadlines and everything, but it's still, you should never have a story where nothing happens. That's just real life then. What's the point of me reading it, or the point of you writing it? Like, stuff needs to happen. Never mind. I'm just complaining about the last issue again. So I'll just say this was great. 10 out of 10. And also for anyone watching this, thank you. But also, if you want me to review anything, whether or not it's in the Star Wars universe, leave a comment and I might do it.